Okay.
Yeah, we need a bit of a warm-up, I think.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
This was part of it, but let's do it.
I'm quite hyped up.
Some quick ones.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Mm.
Okay, cool. Favorite city?
Right now, Singapore.
Racing or kite surfing?
That's an interesting one. But right now it's racing, obviously.
We'll get back to that.
I'm even wearing like kind of, I brought that because I felt like, I tell you, yeah.
Human or animal?
Humans. I think.
Favorite?
Depends on the context, but yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we're animals too, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Favorite country?
Well, I'm snowed in on Singapore right now. I'm so impressed by that country. But there are colors to that, by the way. But yeah, it's cool.
Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg?
None of them.
So then, Taylor Swift or not Taylor Swift?
I don't listen to Taylor Swift. I don't get that thing. But I do understand how people do like. I mean, like that you. I love things, you know, I can get really passionate about things. And I do think, like, whenever I see people are really passionate about, like, is it called Swifties? Yes. And stuff like that, when I smile when I see it, which is a good thing. So it's certainly a good thing, like the whole Taylor Swift thing, but I'm just not into it myself. But yeah.
Gotcha. Cooking or eating?
Both at the same time.
Right.
No, but I would probably... I love cooking. I don't cook anything anymore. I love cooking. It's one of the... You're reminding me of something I miss right now. But the eating is something I'm very passionate about. So that's important to me.
So would you then go with a starter or a dessert?
No, but that's the thing about age. Now I'm really into desserts. I hated desserts when I was younger. But now it's like always something after the meal, and there's like ice cream or this or tarts or this or cakes or fudge or whatever. Like I love it. It's super cool.
All right.
But it would be I'm more in for like look at the menu and order everything on the menu and then just experience everything. So I'm the guy that is sitting at the table always convincing everyone who doesn't like to share food that that's a great thing, you know, like, and you know, getting them involved. I have
experienced that, yeah. But you wouldn't have the croissant over there.
Not that one.
No.
I would have a croissant, but not maybe not right now. I'm not like a morning sweet person. I don't like sweets in the morning. But I love the croissants we do at the office, which usually filled with stuff that I think is really exciting.
All right, we have a few more left because I think we are bored now. Mm-hmm. Speaking or listening?
I think I've learned to appreciate listening more. I like to speak.
And what's your best mood booster? Because you are one of like great energy, but how do you make it happen?
You know, there was well, I can tell you that it's always Avicii when I want to get pumped up. But there are like, I'm not very good with remembering names of music and artists, but I do listen to a lot of music, and when I do I do remember, it's like a split-second memory. I look at it, it's like I know exactly which song it is and stuff like that. I can read about it, but if you ask me, then I wouldn't be able to tell you what the name of the song is and stuff like that. But Avicii, I have a playlist, and there is a couple of songs that I always like kind of listen to before I need to get high energy if there's something really important. So that was something that it was like one of the best tips I ever got. Was when I was working together with a presentation coach when we started doing presentations in a couple of years ago. And he recommended to me that before you go on stage, listen to music and then just put on the tunes that you associate with something that makes you truly happy and successful. And that really works. It just, your brain's just, just switches on. So that's really cool.
So happy and successful. Do you feel successful?
Yeah.
In general?
Yeah.
What does success mean to you?
It's success to me is when you set out certain goals that you want to achieve, and then you continuously achieve them, or like kind of tick off the boxes. And that's quite success. I mean, all about family and kids, and you know, all of those things are part of that. And the thing is, like, it's actually quite planned, like how how that rollout has happened. And the same is with business and Fast Track and partners and relationships in general. I feel sports, individual things, like everything like that. I feel very connected with what I want to do and what I'm doing. And that has always been important to me. If I ever been finding myself in a position where I'm not happy, I stop it straight away. And then I'm like, I just pull the handbrake and I'm just like, no. That's always been something that I've been living by. And I still do that today. So yeah, I feel very successful because my life is what I want the life to be, if that makes sense.
It does. And that leads me on to another question and topic, actually, because we're in 2024, starting to reflect a little bit on that. So would you say that Fast Track is different this year compared to last year?
No, Fast Track is the same. Fast Track is exactly the same, but it's just so much more exciting right now because everything is coming together. Now we've just released rewards, and we're doing that at Fast Track House, which is going on downstairs, which is also a little bit why I'm a little bit tired right now, because it's been very long days and we've been meeting a lot of people and it's like talking about this all day, but it's really, really exciting because rewards is such a unique product because we are building, like, at the face of it is so tangible. We are delivering something that is a player experience. It's essentially something you can put on your website and you can open it and you can see what it's going to deliver to your customers as an experience. But it's so much more behind it. Like, rewards has the capabilities to do leveling and progression systems, virtual currencies, mini games, and missions and challenges, and all of the most exciting promotional capabilities that you could ever imagine as an operator is kind of what, when you open the box. So you go up to a screen, you can really see the product and you can see how it comes alive in front of you, and you can picture, like, as a player, you can look at this and say, like, wow, this is like, I'm getting engaged. I'm not even the person that is going to be using this, and you get engaged by looking at the product. That's very exciting. But the thing is, like, what's happening underneath this product is that we have built an architecture. It's like a technological architecture that allows you to take the singularity model from Fast Track, which is our way of working with data modeling and player profiling, and how you can inject that into the rewards platform so that every single piece of it becomes truly personal. So if your experience logging into rewards and my experience logging into rewards might be completely different because how you behave and how you play and what your consumer behavior looks like or what your profile looks like would determine what type of things we would be pushing towards you, for example. And this is the first time that's happening because we've been missing that piece. Like, singularity has been sitting here in Fast Track CRM, and it's like a little lonely little kid that doesn't have anyone to play with. Like, you have all of this technology that is coming up with smart decision making. So you can say, oh, this player should wager this much, and this player should the most favorite game that person has, and what they won in the past, and you have a lot of information that you can engage with, and then it's just like, okay, what am I going to do with it? I have no one to talk to. I can't activate it. And that's what rewards is doing. It's just adding that layer where you can inject all those values and it can come to life. And that is so exciting. So now I'm holding back enthusiasm in terms of, like, how excited I am right now. We came to SBC Lisbon and the team did such a good job, like, preparing the product on time. And now you see everyone is coming up, and it's a completely different thing. Before, we have been really good at explaining very complicated things in Fast Track to the people that are trying to buy our products. But this is different. People come up and they look at, all right, we're going to show you rewards and see what's going on here. And as soon as we open up, people just light up. It's just like, this is so exciting. Like, I want to be part of this. I want to do this too. So that's really cool. And how all of this now fits together and how everything is becoming so incredibly clear and tangible to everyone that is involved, whether it be the organization or partners or other people in the process that wants to know, that it just becomes so much more easy to understand when you can see something and you can say, like, okay, this is what it's all about.
Yeah. So building up to the launch of rewards, that's been like a major focus for us as an organization this year.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's been fun.
It's been fun.
What else has been fun this year?
Everything has been fun, and we're having a lot of fun at work in general. It's fun. You have to have, in order to appreciate when you have fun, you also have to have a lot of non-fun stuff going on as well. I think the contrast, no one would like to always, you need to understand what it is not to be happy in order to be happy. I think it like kind of accelerates feelings when you do things. But I would say that we are having a lot of fun in Fast Track, even though we're feeling very challenged and we're feeling a lot of pressure and we're feeling a lot of like kind of growth pains and we're feeling a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot of feelings associated to it. But I think overall, when we reflect and we look back, it's actually really fun. Like for anyone who likes to be in that environment and likes to be pushing boundaries, learn new things, and be like part of shaping and building something that's never been done before, that for that person, this is a playground. And for everyone else that is not programmed like that, it might be very daunting and very annoying and very like kind of very difficult to cope with. But yeah, what has been fun apart from rewards, like we're building a completely new organization. It's been wired out right now with a completely new leadership layer. I think it was just shortly after we filmed the last one. It must have been like in November, like somewhere in, I don't know if it was in December or January, I'm not so good with dates, but it was around that time when we promoted a whole new head of layer and we rewired we really sat down and we identified like, okay, there are some core individuals in this organization that's just culture bearers. There are people that has been with the company in many cases, not in all cases, but in many cases for a very long time. And they represent pretty much everything that we stand for. And we said like, we're going to pick, instead of going outside and try to find everyone that has potentially the skills to come into the organization and perform a specific job, we wanted to invest in the people that were inside the organization that already proven to us that they understand the culture and what Fast Track is all about. And then we said, then we help them as long as they have the qualities that is required in order to be leaders in the future. We will provide them with the tools and the kind of the support and mentoring and whatever they need in order to be successful in that leadership role. But that has been the best decision ever. Okay, it's been very messy and it's been very like, stuff to get a head around, because it's a big growth for a lot of people that are stepping into quite a significant part of leadership in an organization that is scaling very quickly. Within some cases going from maybe have managed a couple of people in the past to like manage a function, a strategy, and find some way of autonomy in that in terms of decision making and all of that stuff. And I get it, like probably every one of the people that we did promote during that, they probably felt some sort of, imposter syndrome at the time where they're trying to like, okay, who am I supposed to be in this role? But I feel like looking at it now, I feel most of the people have actually, because we've been really good at reminding them that like, just be yourself and you're going to be perfect, and that this has really changed everything. And I think that a lot of them have actually landed in this now. And we are now in a process of like really seeing strong leaders emerge in the organization, which is really, really cool. And that's been incredibly fun. I mean, there's nothing that beats bringing a person up, right? There's nothing more rewarding, what should we call it? Like rewarding or, satisfying that is than seeing the person next to you grow or learn something new or achieve something, or like I find that one of the best. I know you like that as well, and it's like one of the best parts of the job is like when you can give someone a promotion or you can give someone a new challenge. And we have had a lot of that this year. That's been really fun. What else has been fun? We have had fun. We are doing so many events this year. Like there's so many events. I think we're doing it must be 20 or 21 events that we're doing this year. And the vast majority of this, I don't know, 19, 18 or something like that, is trade shows. So we've been building and we've been visible all over the world. So we've been traveling the world. I haven't attended that many trade shows because of my family situation, and I need to be close to the office and so on. But the team has done an incredible job in doing that, and I'm not even needed anymore because they are doing such an amazing job with all of the events. And the Fast Track House this year, for example, has been, really taking it to the next level, and so has all of the different stands that we built. Yeah, I think welcoming new people to the organization from the outside has also been fun. There's a lot of fun.
We also had the Growth Summit happening this year.
The Growth Summit is also fun. It's always fun to do the Growth Summit because that's the time we are so busy. Like we're so busy in like working all the time, and we keep forgetting how important it is to like come together and just take a break and just celebrate, right? And I think at the Growth Summit that became really clear. And I really enjoyed that, and everyone really enjoyed that. The organization of the event was fantastic. We went over to the Kempinski this time over in Gozo. We stayed overnight, and there was like everyone was just so happy to be together. Like, you know what I loved the most about that event? It was not the presentations and like all of that. That was great, okay, and guest speakers and whatnot. The best part was that everyone was on the dance floor. We have now become a dance culture faster. You wouldn't believe this. Like a couple of years ago, we were the ones like typical Swedish crews that was just like standing there and watching everyone. And then you had a crazy person like Chris or someone stepping up on the dance, doing a couple of moves, but then stepping off. Now we've got such a multicultural team right now, and a lot of people from a lot of countries, which I think the world would associate as movers, you know, like in terms of like really good party people who knows how to do that. And I'm not talking party about getting drunk. I'm talking party about like, you know, really, you know, letting loose and just letting off and not caring about anyone and just dancing. And that's what we had at the Growth Summit. I remember we had internal like meetings about, oh, how big is the dance floor? Where should we have it? It's just like, yeah, but no one is gonna dance. No way, everyone is gonna dance. Like that's not the company anymore. And everyone was on the dance floor. It's so much fun. I have this memory like when Andrea, she's so cool. She's like in the Swedish office, and she was just coming up to me. She's like, you need to tell the DJ he doesn't listen to me. You need to tell him to like put on this song. And I need to show everyone some dance moves. And she's like, absolutely. And we just walked up and we like spoke to the DJ. You need to put on this song right now. And she took a microphone. She just took over the whole place and everyone started dancing together with Andrea. It was so funny. We have a video of that. We should probably post that somewhere. Okay, good.
Yes, but you mentioned before that to know what's fun, you also need to experience the opposite, to experience the contrast. So what's not so fun perhaps right now?
Okay. We're going to talk about non-fun stuff. Okay, we can talk a little bit about non-fun stuff. I'm feeling very happy today. So it's going to be very hard for me to be like not happy in a conversation. But, I mean, I think we've been a little bit challenged. People have been a little bit challenged by the fact that we haven't had enough people in the organization. So I think it's something that we are kind of learning and trying to calibrate for in the coming year and so on. There is good and bad in this, right? Because I can have two hats right now. I completely have this, like everyone has been feeling a lot of pressure and pain in terms of like how quickly we've been growing and how much staff we have available in order to support that. We have had, at various times as any other organization, you might have a little bit of turbulence when some key people might be moving on in their life or something like that, and you need to build that. You have leadership that comes in, and there is a lot of adjustment because now there is, you know, someone else that is maybe changing direction or trying a new process or doing something, and you have a completely, you know, it's a very big difference, like managing maybe 100 businesses versus having 200 businesses that you're managing. In terms of I'm thinking about our partners and our customers, or however we refer to them. And there's a lot of relationships, and now it scales and it's just broader. So it's a lot of challenges, right? So there's a lot of expectations from everyone that we're delivering excellence and quality and everything we're doing, and it's very painful. So all of that creates pain, and especially like that, I feel, in terms of our own ambition and how much stuff we've been doing on the technology space. I think we probably not had, if we would have kind of done this again, I think we would have said, well, let's staff up a little bit more than we think we will need, rather than, you know, kind of doing that and being a little bit more aggressive on staffing that up. So I think that's a learning, and that's what we're doing now anyway. We're catching up with everything. But it's been painful because we haven't had enough people maybe to support the growth that we've been having.
But we are absolutely recruiting. And on that note, you are still part of the recruitment process, and
I love
you
it.
make part of the hiring of
No, but I
everyone.
love it. But the thing is, like, it's nice. I think I get surprised that not more companies are doing that. Okay, and I think I feel personally that I'm not going to step away. If there is one process I'm not going to step away from, if you want to call it being the details or being involved in something that is like, there's a lot of people being recruited in Fast Track. I don't know how many hundred of candidates we introduce every month. I don't know. It's a lot of roles open and things going on. So obviously there is a lot of candidates. I don't know how many we hire per month right now, ish 4 or 5, 6 people, something like that. So obviously there is a lot of meetings because not everyone makes it to the company, right? But being included in the process, it gives a lot. It gives a lot for me, and it gives a lot for the candidate, I think, because you're coming into a business that is a bootstrap business. It's a business that is a founder-led business. There's no hiding behind the fact that a large part of Fast Track and how it's configured is coming from myself and the co-founders that we have had in the business, and I think it's just it's about showing respect to people, even like that. I'm gonna join your cause. I'm gonna start working. I wanna, that person gets to meet, the person behind it as well, and see like, okay, what type of expectations will you have? I usually, my conversation is usually quite light touch. I mean, it's very much a conversation to see like they get a little bit of sense of what my style is like and how. What my expectations are, and I think it makes it. I think everyone appreciates it a lot, like just getting that interaction. And if for any reason they would not be happy in that interview and feel we are not connecting, well, you know what? That's probably a good thing, because then you will find out very quickly that maybe Fast Track is not the right place. We haven't really had those situations, but you know what I mean? It's like if you do feel. And we also have that in the interview process. You meet a lot of people in Fast Track when you go through the interviews. And I think that's important for the candidate. Like they get like exposed to different leaders in Fast Track and the hiring manager and potentially some teammates sometimes, right? And then you get a really clear understanding about, okay, these are the type of people I'm going to work for. Whether it be the HR team or whether it be my direct line manager or whether it be the CTO of Fast Track, that you understand, okay, this is what I can expect. This is probably how they're going to run the company, make decisions, like how they're going to plan things. Like I think you get a lot of exposure, and I think you deserve that when you're going to make such a big decision in your life as like picking where you're going to work. It's like, for me, that's a big deal at least.
I'll take it then as you will be part of the interview process
for as long
year
as I can.
Well.
For as long as I can. I think there is going to come at some point. We're going to have to make a choice, and I think I'm always going to be there meeting the people that starts at Fast Track. But I do see like, okay, at the point when this doesn't scale anymore and doesn't work, then I will create a different opportunity. For example, that everyone that starts at Fast Track would come and hang out with me maybe one day a month or something like that, so that we could still do that piece, but maybe it doesn't become part of the actual recruitment process, but it would be an expectation to do within the first 3-4 weeks of the job. But then maybe we come together and we do it like in a different format. But I believe in it like wholeheartedly. I think it's super critical to be part of kind of to have that as part of the process.
And thinking a little about what the future holds, why do you think someone should be curious about Fast Track or consider joining us moving forward, considering 2025?
I think like, I don't think there's that many companies in the world that has such a level of ambition that we have. So if it's quite normal for most companies to be quite happy and stagnate, and like, okay, you might have some growth, but it's maybe 10-15%, and you're like it's kind of established at that point, and it's a little bit more like you go to work, you go home. It's like it's not that much change. Maybe in a 3 to 6 month basis, you're like you're experiencing 1 or 2 things that are being introduced as a new thing. And for me, that's very boring. I wouldn't like to be in that environment. And I think the people working at Fast Track, they go into that like as they kind of give themselves to the cause in a bit. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna grow very fast as an individual. I'm gonna be part of change. I'm gonna have to deal with more complexity than I've ever done before. I'm gonna be challenged by being asked to do things that no one has ever done before. Don't you get like quite excited even thinking?
Yes.
That's how it is. That's the reality. We are people go on holiday from Fast Track. Okay, they come back, they go for 2 weeks on holiday, and they come back and they're like, I don't want to use the F word, but like and then like what just happened in the last 2 weeks. And that's how it is. We are so fast in terms of how we are moving. We make decisions like in no time. We see something working, we see something else, we move at it. But we have this like super clear determination, clear vision, clear direction, and very clear like structure of pillars that like kind of guides us. So we don't get confused in like moving very quickly. We know what our identity is. We know how it works. We just wanna see that we want to fail really quickly in case something goes wrong, but we also want to act on something really quickly in case we see an opportunity. And that's like the kind of the startup spirit that we still have, and that we're still going to maintain. And one of the most complicated conversations, like I love living here and now. Like I love that. And for me, it's always frustrating when I get dragged into a conversation which is about too much about structure and governance and policy, which you need to have. It's
Yes.
You do. I do appreciate, I'm sometimes the one doing it. When things have different states, okay? Like certain things, I love our CARES framework. Like we introduced a leadership framework this year. Such a cool thing, okay? Like it's been led by Leona in our HR team, and she's done an exceptional job in this piece. And we've built up the framework of that. I'm going to come back to what I'm talking about, because CARES is kind of short for a number of different areas that we evaluate leaders on, and what we expect out of leaders in their role. And what I wanted to come back to is that there are certain things as a leader, when you have identified something that works, that you want to scale, you need process, policy, and governance in order to maintain, like as you scale, that you can have 1, 10, or 100 people delivering the same quality and under the same expectations. When you've figured out what you want to do and how you want to scale it, that's critical, okay? But when it comes to kind of accelerate growth, which is the second letter in CARES, then you are not bound by rules. You have to be exploring stuff that has never been done before. You need to be experimenting. You need to try new things, and that's like as much of a quality in a leader that we are looking for, as much as it is with how we scale the business.
And we have a lot of those occasions lined up for next year. So moving on to the future a little bit, can you give us some insights on what we can look forward to 2025?
Well, we are in the most exciting place that we would ever be until we have this conversation in a year. And then I'm going to tell you that is the time when we are the most excited, because that's really been the case year after year after year after year, is that we are really, really good at achieving our goals. Like in this company, we are incredibly good, and we are so determined at achieving the right outcome. Hopefully that's what we said was the goal, but achieving the right outcome, we've always been incredibly good at that. And in a way, I think, as long as you create the right level of engagement, understanding, and buy-in towards a certain direction, I think you can do it it's quite manageable, even if it's a hard thing to do.
I think that's a wrap.
Cool.
Was there anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to be asked?
I don't know.
No?
Feels good.
Yeah. It's all good.
So we're done then?
We're done. We're
all
working
right, cool.
out.
So let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Did I just step into the mic? Yes. We got more croissants here, by the way. Nice. Coffee.
We're done.
Nice.